Welcome to Fish Food. In today's programme, I'm going to be cooking with fresh tuna and sea bream. The tuna is going to be studded with salted anchovies and coriander and served with a Mediterranean salsa rosa, and the sea bream is going to be baked whole in sea salt in the oven. And with me in the kitchen are my three chefs, Sue, Fiona and James, and Susie Atkins will be coming along later to give us some tips on what to drink with tuna and sea bream. But first I'm off to Runge's market just outside Paris to get some. Well, this is it. It is 1 o'clock in the morning here and this place is absolutely buzzing. So let me show you around. This is a typical store here, and this one is one of the best I've seen. I think it's got a fantastic selection of fish. I mean, these sea bass just caught my eye straight away. I mean, a fish that size, I mean, that's absolutely huge. Beautiful bright gills, lovely clear eyes. I wouldn't have thought that's longer than 12 hours out of the water. That is absolutely superb. And they've got these fantastic Dover soles, which is a favourite of mine. Prime size, one of those on a plate, just simply grilled. Again, in prime condition, not a scale missing off all of those. And this skate, that lovely pink colour, not the sort of dry white that we're so often used to seeing at home. It really is superb, and this has really caught my eye. I mean, this is monkfish liver, taken from the monkfish. It's a delicacy in France. Haven't seen it before, but I bet it's superb. And this is the monkfish it would have come from. I mean, these are lovely sized medium tails, but the condition of those is absolutely superb. The flesh is opaque and wonderful. And these John Dory, deep water fish, beautiful colour. Look at that telescopic mouth. That really is a good fish to eat. That is absolutely superb. And these scallops, these queen scallops, just freshly cut from the shell, superb condition. Lovely and sweet, just fried with a little bit of garlic and some parsley. And these are the cheeks of the monkfish. They don't seem to waste anything in France. These are the cheeks of the fish, which I think have a lovely firm flesh, just like the tail. And here are weaver fish. We do get these at home. This is the weaver fish that lives in the shallows, in the sands. You have a spike, you stand on it, a little bit of poison there, but great to eat, lovely in soups. Some wonderful langoustine, again in great condition, superb. And last of all, our native lobster, all the way from home, and I think they're in great company here because I think our English lobsters are the finest in the world. Now here's something that everybody loves, fresh prawns, and this stall is selling nothing but fresh prawns. Right in front of me is about half a ton of them. They're all freshly cooked and they're starting off at this end with the smallest. These are what we call a 60 to 80 count, where the prawns are about 60 to 80 of them to the kilo. They gradually move up to a 30-40, and then to a 10-20, and then right at the end we're looking at an under 5 size, which means that there are under 5 prawns to the kilo. And I mean, look at those, they are magnificent. I mean, who wouldn't want to eat something like that? I mean, it's just fantastic. Now this is something dear to every Frenchman, shellfish. This is what they call fruits de mer, which is where they just take fresh shellfish, they heap it on ice and serve it with nothing more than just lemon and shallot vinegar. And the selection here is superb. I mean, just look at this lot. There's some lovely samphire grass, which is something that does grow around our coast. I love it just tossed in salads, although it's great eating as a vegetable. It's lovely and crunchy, it's got a lovely salty taste, it really is fantastic. But just look at the rest of these things. These wonderful razor clams, almost just waving at you. Lovely, again, just eaten with lemon. These prairie clams, which are superb, something I don't see very often in England. And these Venus clams, or Verni clams, which really are something. And these prawns, which absolutely amaze me, these are still alive. Now that's what I call fresh, just boiled, fresh mayonnaise, ready to go. And of course, whelks. But the French tend to use the small ones, whereas in England we're always eating the big ones, and the small ones have a lovely, sweet flavour. And the langoustines, I mean, look at that for a size of a langoustine. Lovely and sweet, lovely dark meat in the head, and just look at the amount of meat that you get from those claws. And just behind me over here are boxes stacked high with oysters, and they'll have oysters from Bellon, from Fin de Claire, the Marennes. I mean, every river and every coast you can possibly think of. I mean, the French really do love their oysters. When I said fish comes into Runges from all over the world, I meant it. And these rock lobsters have been flown in all the way from Cuba. The French call them langoustes, and they will end up on a fruits de mer along with the other shellfish. But even better than that are these crawfish. These were caught off the English coast around Cornwall, though sadly not caught in great numbers, but they really are a superb catch. One of the fish I've come here to look for is sea bream. There are quite a few different species, and this is the pink one, but the one I really want to find is over here, which is the gilt-head or dorade. As you walk around Runge's, you just can't help but be amazed at what you find amongst all the boxes. Just look at this swordfish. I've had a really great time here at Runge's this morning, and apart from seeing bream, I've come here to find tuna. And this is it. This is prime tuna loin. This is what we then take and cut into steaks, and we sell it through our fishmongers and restaurants. But I wonder just how many people have actually seen a whole tuna. Well, look at this. This is a yellowfin tuna, an absolutely magnificent fish. About 30 kilos in weight. The Japanese really lust after this. This is what they use for their sushi. And over here, we've got some smaller albacore fish, which is just as good to eat as well. This is our tuna loin. Now, not many people see it like that, but that is really 1/4 of the fish. I mean, tuna are quite huge. So that's one fillet, probably off a fish about 150 kilos, and that is in really good condition. It's got a nice deep red colour to it. You need to avoid it when it's brown. That's when blood is hanging around in the fish and it has a slightly metallic taste. But that tuna is good enough for sushi, and that's really superb. I'm going to cut a steak off of that. I'm going to lard it or stuff it with anchovies and coriander. I'm going to serve it with a salsa rosa. Now, a salsa rosa is a mixture of roasted peppers, tomatoes, fresh herbs like coriander and fennel, anchovies, capers and black olives. So it's got a nice fresh Mediterranean taste, and it works well with all fish, but particularly with this tuna, it's great. Now, a lot of people are kind of frightened of tuna really, and I think it's because they're worried about it always being dry. It's often overcooked and it's often frozen, but a piece of tuna just seared in a pan, left nice and raw in the middle, there's nothing like it. The first thing we need to do is to fillet these anchovies. Now, I think you can remember how to do that by just turning them on their bellies.
Refresh my memory, Mitch.
Sure, you just turn it on its belly, James, and just press down on the backbone all the way along, so you're pushing the backbone out of it, and then you can peel the fillet off of it. Now, I like these salted anchovies. I think they're much better than the jarred ones. They have much more of an intense flavour. So we've got those, and while you're doing that, I'm going to cut a steak off of this tuna. And a steak about 150 grams is enough for one person. I do like them nice and thick, but don't go mad. I'll pop that back into the fridge, so that's out of our way. So we're ready on those anchovies? Now here's a nice tip that you can do, because tuna loins can be roasted whole. And what you can do is to take these anchovy fillets, roll them in chopped coriander, so a bit of coriander, perhaps there. Roll the anchovies into it, like that, so they're covered in coriander.
Oh, nice.
Put them in the freezer overnight. And when they come out, they're like stiff little darts, so you can just stick them straight into your tuna and snap them off, which is great.
Excellent.
But we haven't got time to freeze them, so I'm just going to make some holes. And it's great because as you eat your tuna, you get this wonderful...
That looks so tender already.
It's beautiful. And you
It's
just
like a pork chop, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
It's great. I mean, I love tuna. I think it's a great fish. And I mean, to take a piece off of this and eat it raw now, I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean,
That's quite safe to eat raw fish then.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As
Absolutely.
long as it's fresh, you're saying.
As long as it's nice and fresh. I mean, it's got a lovely sweet flavour, and make sure they're well covered in coriander.
Right.
Now I'm going to season it and put oil, but I'm not going to put oil in my frying pan. I'm going to put my frying pan on to get hot, because tuna just needs searing just for a minute or two.
So olive oil.
That's good olive oil, best oil. And I'm going to season that with a bit of salt. Use rock salt, and I've got my tuna there. I'm just going to cover the tuna in the oil, as opposed to putting the oil in the pan.
Right.
So it'll stop it sticking, it'll keep it moist, and it will just sear it, rather than having a layer of oil which is going to fry it. Now that needs to be really hot, and that is hot. So in we go with our tuna.
How long will it take, Mitch?
That'll take about 2 minutes on each side,
Right.
and that's all it'll need. If you've got a really thick steak, just 2 minutes on each side and just pop it in the oven. You don't want it cold in the middle, you still want it raw, but you want it warm. So I'll take that out of our way. I'll wipe down, get a plate, and we'll present this tuna, because it won't take long to cook. I mean, I like tuna cooked on a barbecue as well. I mean, it's lovely just over a barbecue.
It's nice with the lines, isn't it?
Takes on that wood smoke, and you get those nice
Look.
grills, those lines, which is great.
When you said you would roast it, would you just put it in the oven the same as what it was?
Just pop it in the oven
And how
exactly the
long?
same as it was. I
For
mean,
2 minutes?
no, if it's a big loin,
Yeah.
you're talking about a whole loin like that, it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes to actually just sear and get on. And I'm going to put some salad leaves with this. Got a nice mix of little salad leaves. I'm just going to dress with olive oil, sea salt, and lemon juice. And that's all it needs, just to bring out those flavours. Toss it around. Our tuna won't be far off. You can see there how the tuna's just starting to cook up the side.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
Okay.
so quick, yeah.
And that's it just on that side as well. Get a nice bit of heat, but that's getting there, so you want it nice and pink in the middle. We can get the plate ready. So we'll, just with this salsa rosa, add a little bit more herb. Always add the herbs at the last minute and a bit of lemon juice, otherwise the lemon juice and the herbs tend to blacken.
Oh, right.
And you just prefer the lemon and not the lime in this dish?
I love lemon in this, I think it's really nice and fresh. And we can pop the salsa rosa.
Were they roasted, those peppers, before?
The peppers were roasted, so
Yeah.
you get maximum
Skimmed
sweetness.
off them.
Because what you've got in there, James, you've got sort of piquant olives and capers, and you've got the sweetness of the peppers and the tomatoes as well, so you've got a really nice balancing flavour. And that tuna's coming on absolutely wonderful.
Oh, lovely.
And I'll take that over and put that on the plate.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice steak of tuna, and I'm going to take a handful of
Really
these
nice.
small leaves. And we'll pop those, I think, straight on top of the salsa rosa. There's nice little leaves, which will add something to it. A little bit of lemon juice on the tuna, which really helps it along. Tiny bit more seasoning, so we've got a crunch. And last of all, some good olive oil.
And no pepper in
Just
this
around.
dish?
No, I've just got salt on it. You can use pepper if you wish. I think it's a personal taste if you, just if you like it. And then these juices in the salsa rosa are great, so you can use that to just
Drizzle around.
just
Yeah,
drizzle
drizzle,
around
yeah.
and float on the oil that's there. So you've got a nice fresh Mediterranean dish with a great piece of tuna.
Does look
Wow.
wonderful.
And that is perfect. That's great.
Steak.
Besides being one of the most beautiful cities in the world, Paris is also renowned for its great restaurants, cafes and brasseries, and none more so than the one I'm heading for, La Coupole, which opened in 1927, where I'm going to meet the restaurant's marketing manager, Elizabeth Pierre-Léon. I remember coming here for the sort of first time about 8 years ago, and I couldn't believe the atmosphere in here when it's full up. And you know, it must be great for you and your staff here every day. It must be just such good fun, get everyone in the atmosphere going. I mean, it's a real restaurant, isn't it? It's great.
And there is a special spirit here. We can speak about spirit of brasserie.
Yes.
It's typical of this place, close to the artists
So
and
they
painters, and
they use the restaurant a lot. You have artists come in daily and writers
every
to come into work.
day they are used to come here, and every day there is something happening with artists or writers or press. But this is a place devoted to the fishes
alive.
and the life of the sea.
And I
Fascinating,
understand you
fascinating.
serve about 2,000 people a day here.
Yes, of course. It's the largest brasserie,
It's magnificent.
I think, in the world.
It's magnificent.
And in the kitchen, there is more or less 40 person who
Working in the kitchen.
kitchen. Yes.
That's brilliant. And I couldn't help noticing the shellfish display that you have as you come in. I mean, it's a whole room of it. I mean, it's fantastic. Where does all that come from?
It depends of course, of the sort of fish. Most of them come from France. Salmon come from Scottish. Lobsters come from Canada.
Canada. Do you ever use English lobsters and English shellfish here?
Sometimes, I think,
Sometimes?
yes, but most of them, most of the fishes come from France. Britain, and Mediterranean.
You must have masses of it coming in every day. I mean, to serve 2,000 people. I mean, do the French eat fruit de mer often?
Every morning.
Every morning?
This is a very great spectacle, because we can speak like this. Very unique
To see.
the arrival of the fishes and crustaceans every day.
I mean, the oysters you've got on here, you've got so many different types of bellons, fin de clairs, small sizes, big sizes. I mean, how many
Patience.
oysters do you sell here?
Per day, it's around 1,200
That's just-
oysters.
That's a magnificent amount of oysters. That's huge. We were at the at Runge's market this morning, and I mean, it was a magnificent sight there. But we came looking for sea bream, and I see you have sea bream on the menu. I mean, is that a popular fish here? I mean, I love it. I think it's gorgeous.
Today we have a gilt-head sea bream with a garnished with ratatouille. with pesto and parmesan, and very typically recette of the chef.
It's a very country sort of French flavours, and
Yes.
very Mediterranean, all that sort of nice tomato and courgette and basil. It must be great. But I mean, a menu like this, you must have to change it every day
Every
to
day.
reflect the catches, which in a restaurant this size is just, I mean, it's brilliant.
It's very, very typical for the brasserie, and this brasserie is very specific with it is the most popular.
Parisians are very lucky. I can see why you love it. It's it really is a fantastic place, and to see the fish just treated, in this like really simple way, and so much shellfish going through, I think it's marvellous.
It's very important to cook the product, the fresh product.
And yes, just work with the produce. So your chef spends the time getting the produce and letting the produce speak for itself. We're going to bake a whole sea bream in sea salt. Now you can use any other fish for this, a small sole, a turbot, a sea bass. And to get the perfect timing, one fish weighing 450 grams will take exactly 24 minutes in the oven to bake. Now the effect of the salt is that we encase it totally in salt. And what happens is the fish is almost steamed inside the salt case, so you get maximum flavour out of it. And it's really lovely with fish like sea bream and bass. And you can do this, Fiona, because this is really, really easy. One of those dishes you can prepare in 2 minutes, sea salt over the top, in the oven, make a few phone calls, come back and it's ready to go. So what you do is you just put a nice layer of salt on the bottom of there. Now I'm using dry salt, but what you can do is to put egg whites with it.
Yeah, I heard that somewhere.
What does that do?
Well, if you put egg whites with it, what happens is it comes out as a brick. Come on, heap it on there. We'll have a nice layer on there, about an inch on the bottom. You put the egg whites with it, and you can sandwich it between 2 roasting trays. And I've done this at home. You put it in the oven and roast it. Then when you turn it out, you've got a brick in the middle of the table. Then somebody breaks it like that.
Yeah.
Salt goes everywhere to reveal this fish. That's plenty
Good
thin there,
enough,
about an inch
right.
on the bottom. Put a few sprigs of rosemary on there. The rosemary is a herb that people don't normally associate with fish. I love it. I think it's really fragrant. And with a nice moist white sea bream, it's great. Not all of it, so
Not
we'll
all
put
of
some
it?
on top.
Okay.
Would this be quite expensive using this sea salt? Because
No, you can buy rock salt in bulk.
Can you?
It's,
Oh,
it's
big
great.
bag.
Yeah. So fish first, Fiona. And what I want you to do with it is to just rub olive oil onto the skin. That's quite important. If you just keep it up a minute,
Right, okay.
just cover the fish in olive oil.
yeah.
This will stop the fish sticking
Sticking, okay.
in the salt. So plenty of it on there,
Yeah.
and then just lay the fish straight
It's
on
all
top.
been gutted and scaled.
Yeah. What I've done is I've just got the fishmonger, take the scales off, and take the gut out. So it's all ready to eating.
Okay.
And then on top with the rosemary. Just there. Don't make any cuts in the fish at all, otherwise the salt will permeate the flesh.
right.
we
Right,
don't
I was
want
going to
that.
say, otherwise it would be too really
does- it
salty.
doesn't get
wouldn't it?
salty.
It does, no.
Now on the top with the salt, completely bury it, tip it all on.
Yep.
That's it. Plenty of it.
Completely all over.
Yeah, all over, so he's really packed in tight. That's it. There we go.
Wow.
Okay.
And that's it. So the salt, the fish is completely buried,
Yep.
none of it exposed, and that then goes in the oven 24 minutes on maximum heat. So 24 minutes that's been in the oven, and I guarantee you that'll be perfectly cooked. Okay, nothing changes from the outside at the moment, doesn't look any different. The rosemary's a bit burnt, which is great. That's all that flavour's gone into the fish, and look, you just see them buried under there. See how the olive oil's just not letting that salt stick to it, which is great. Just looks fantastic. I mean, really nice and moist inside.
And it's got to be exactly that time.
Exactly that time, yeah. Maximum oven. I mean, 24 minutes or 25 minutes, not going to make any difference, but it always seems to work for me. And then you can just lift him out there, brush the rest of the salt off. You don't want too much on the plate. There we go. And then all it needs is a bit of olive oil just to shine him up again. The salt's made him go a bit dull. And we'll drizzle some good olive oil around the plate.
Can you eat the skin? Is it quite...
The skin is absolutely gorgeous to eat. And then some lemon juice over the top. A little bit of green, a chunk of lemon, and that's all it needs. Well, Susie, you tried both those dishes, the tuna with that nice salsa and the sea bream just speaking for itself on its own. What do you think we should drink with those?
Right, I've brought 2 wines here. Again, we've got a rosé and a white, as you can see. Very, very different in style indeed. Now, I love matching wine with tuna because it's such a meaty fish. I can sort of let loose a bit more than, with a more delicate style of fish. And I've chosen here a very, very rich rosé indeed. Now, just look at the colour of that. It's really
Gorgeous
dark.
colour.
It's almost like a light red, this. And it's from California. And it's a New World rosé in the style that we're increasingly seeing, which is very, very rich, quite high in alcohol. As I say, almost like a very light Beaujolais in style. So in between a rosé and a red.
It's like strawberry ice cream.
It's very slightly off dry as well.
Raspberry, isn't it?
It's lots and lots of fruit, like summer pudding fruits. But what I was looking for, and I think this is
That's
really
great.
important when you're matching wine with tuna, is loads of flavour. This is a really
'Cause it'll
strong
take it.
flavoured, chunky, kind of meaty
And
fish.
be really lovely with those salted anchovies and that coriander in the middle, so it's
With
quite
cut
zesty and
Absolutely.
lovely. Yeah,
And I
brilliant.
think you've described this dish as quite Mediterranean. Now, this comes from California, so I can't pretend it's a Mediterranean wine. But it's got a Mediterranean style, I think. It's really fruity. It's like some of those very light Grenache reds that you get on the Mediterranean.
And always chilled.
Always chilled. I would chill this fairly hard to bring out that succulence. Lovely kind of black cherry flavour that you get on the
that's
finish.
it. Black cherry.
Black cherry, yeah, it's great.
Now you've mentioned
Very,
it.
very nice indeed, but quite robust. This isn't the sort of rosé I would sort of sip on the terrace. I'd choose a much lighter one for that. But going with tuna,
Well,
a good, powerful,
15%.
strong rosé, or alternatively a very, very, very light red, which you could also chill. So a light Beaujolais, Gamay style, chill it again. That would do the same trick as this dark rosé.
Now this sea bream.
The
I
sea
mean, you know,
bream-
we all love the sea bream because the fish was just the fish. It was lovely.
Beautiful, wasn't it?
Beautiful
So-
fish, relatively delicate, and you did it in such a simple fashion that I was looking for a fairly simple wine. So I've gone back to good old Soave. Perhaps not the most fashionable wine in the world at the moment. Italian Soave.
Why is it not fashionable?
Well, I think some of these Italian whites have gone a bit out of fashion while the new world's come in. People are talking about Chile
people
and
are leaving
Australia.
it,
They've perhaps left Italy behind, but I think they should go straight back to it because this is a very fine Soave indeed from Piropan, who is the top producer of Soave
I love
in
Italian
Italy.
wines.
So it's a
bad,
very,
is it?
very
I love
good
Italian
one.
wines.
And what you're looking for is the great depth of lemony flavour, and that is what I've
Very
chosen to go with
lemony.
this more delicate dish. Lovely
that's
white
lovely.
fish, lovely clean lemony flavour, but good depth.
Yeah.
It's not a boring Italian wine,
No, it
it's
isn't.
a
It's
good
delicious.
quality Italian wine.
It's
And you get a
fantastic.
hint of sort of almonds on this kind of wine, which I think is lovely.
And again, a good chilled summery wine.
Yes.
Yeah, light drinking. You know, just a piece of fish and.
It
You know,
wouldn't overpower the fish.
No,
would
no, it wouldn't. In
No.
fact, that lemony would just really come through.
It wouldn't
That-
overpower it at all,
flavour
and
would
that
be
is
delicious.
exactly what I was looking for. Now, if I had paired this with the second dish,
Yes.
with the sea bream, I think you would find it overpowered it
Too much.
completely.
Completely taken
And
away,
probably
yeah.
clashed
Yeah.
as well. Those sweet black cherry flavours are made for tuna, not for such a delicate fish as sea bream. Once you get into there with the lemony flavours, it's almost acting like a squeeze of lemon.
It is.
Yes,
on the
it
fish,
is.
it's lovely.
Yeah.
It just goes with it. Perfect. I think that sets it off great.